Good morning. Good morning. How are we doing today? Explain to me what you're talking about as if I'm 12 years old. I couldn't name the video Explain Comedy Like I'm 12 Years Old because that's how bad the situation is where you can't even say 12-year-old. Why can't you say 12-year-old? It's because our government, it's because our government. It's kind of overrun right now with pedos. What's going on with your voice? Oh, my voice is perfect. My voice is perfect. We're going to get into some comedy. We're getting. How's my sound? Let's go. In running on a generational run, let's break down how the activities that we've been doing over the past X number of days lead up to progress for us. Let's explain some comedy. Let's walk you through some of the questions that you might have. And let's really enjoy our time together. And let's not necessarily reset my channel, but let's hang out in a perhaps you've never met me before. Perhaps I need to meet you guys because sometimes the information, because of this format, it tends to only flow in one direction. And I don't want to have it just be unidirectional. I don't want to have it to just be where I'm dropping one, knowledge bombs, two, complex comedy, three, talking about topics that are counterintuitive and sometimes not connecting. So this is my effort of connecting. Do you like that? Because the the button that we're tickling, a tickle button. It's called a special button. I'm pulling it up. It's a complicated button. Oh, it's the fix everything easily switch. It's the fix everything easily switch. It's a switch where you fix everything easily. Here's the problem with showing people, hey, there's a switch. You can press it. One, you have this ridiculous fantasy where you can just press the switch. When I'm telling people, hey, there's a way to fix this and fix it relatively easily, they also will say the middle ground is not switch pressing, fixing everything via 4,800 videos of a channel that I will not put in the mentions or in the description down below. I'm not going to put a link for you. fix everything easily switch? You can't press that switch. Larry, stop pressing the switch. Here's another one that I'll hear. There is no switch. Where is this coming from? It's coming directly from an Eskimo brother. Also saying, nobody wants to actually see any switch pressing. Nobody wants to see your problem solved. You are a switch pressing obsessed maniac. What am I having a mania over? Pressing the switch. What's the switch to? Fix everything easily switch. It is simply not possible to press the switch. Naysayers, crabs in a pot. Yeah, if people say you shouldn't press the switch, then maybe don't. Elon Musk, Eskimo brother, fix everything easily switch. To be honest, it is quite frankly terrifying that you would even think of pressing the switch. The switch is not the button to launch nukes. I'm pretty sure that Desert, New Jersey does not have working nukes. It isn't as easy as just pressing the switch. These are things that people say when we say, why won't you just solve the problem? Hey, buddy, just get fucked if you're even thinking about pressing the switch. Fuck you. Oh, this message is held for review. Is this going to be Ebonics maxing? Congratulations. 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 It feels like you only dump once a week. Because for me, I don't have enough time because I defecate in under 3 minutes. Perfect deuces. Daily. Daily perfect deuces. Fixing everything. You guys, good morning, Pamela. How are you? This is comedy. This is comedy. Where I was going to call this comedy set explaining Larry Chang as if you're 12 years old. But I can't even say 12 years old because the leaders of nations across the world, they're into 12-year-olds. Where I can't even mention the humor of, hey, will you explain Web 12 to me as if I'm 12 years old? Mansplaining. Mansplaining, where as a man who's talking and explaining things, shaming a person for explaining something. Here's an example of woman interrupting, which is constantly interrupting where there is not a phrase for woman interrupting. Comedy, testosterone. So what testosterone does is it causes you to do crazy things for money, crazy things for attention, crazy things for taking risk, crazy things for sex. So there's also a YouTube trend. It's called, will you swallow the black pill? And the black pill is where you find out information that you don't want to know. And then when you find out information that you don't want to know, I'm getting distracted by the chat. I'm getting distracted because I want this to be a two-way conversation. How are you guys? How are you guys? I'm happy that you were able to drop a deuce. Bathroom comedy. Do you guys see my set? my stand-up comedy set on bathroom humor for women. Bathroom time for women, it's complicated and complex, kind of like women. Where bathroom for women, where women can't just go to the bathroom, do their business, and leave. Everything needs to be perfect. Perfect environment, perfect shit dropping music and or video, perfect house guests, where some people need to have so much privacy that there can't be anyone else in the house. Perfect hydration, perfect amount of coffee, where you're using coffee as a diuretic. So when women need everything perfect, what happens is sometimes men begin to behave like women. That's kind of not a good thing. That's kind of not a good thing. Here's an example of that, where I am at my girlfriend's place and she's taking a shower. And she's in the shower and I'm not in the shower. I'm gonna drop a deuce. So I sit on her toilet and then I blow ass into her toilet. And then I flush it so that way it doesn't smell. Right where the doogie is about to hit the water, that's when I flush. It's kind of like torpedo in the tube. Tube 1 is loaded, sir. Explode torpedo. So then you send the doogie to the Miami Sanitation District, or whatever sanitation district. We'll just call it Miami Sanitation District. It doesn't even smell. It's a perfect execution of a Bristol 4 poop. Oh, it does not smell straight away. That is not true, Becca. That is untrue. See, kind of like lightning and thunder, just because you heard the lightning doesn't mean you see the thunder. You like what I did there? Because just because I barely farted while I was pooing, she's going to butthole police me. What is butthole policing? Which is, I heard that. You're trying to butthole shame my butthole? You should be saying, instead of I heard that, you should be saying, oh, do you have poophoria? Oh, okay, this is not an invitation, Becca, but it is a challenge. I challenge you to be showering. I challenge you to be showering, and I challenge you in a blind shower test to tell me when the shit left my body. And then we'll do a bet. We'll do a bet, and I guarantee that I'll be winning dinner first and coach. Why do I do this? I do this because I'm not the person who farts and then has you smell it, because that's rude and stupid. I want to be able to have you shit, or me. I want to be able to shit and then have you go, well, what just happened? That's the correct response for what just happened. I would not shit a shitter. I'm going to play this game. It's called I Know When You Last Dropped the Deuce. I know when you last dropped the deuce. Almost 2 days ago, Are you dehydrated because you're about to have your period? Look, church and state not separated. Pedos and power not separated. If you can't separate those things, why would you want to separate my shower and my doogie? Why? Humor. Do you guys know why certain people will bring in poop play into the bedroom? Do you know why people bring in, do you know why people integrate defecation? It's psychological. So I'm not going to talk about gaydar. I'm not going to talk about pedodar. I'm not even going to go on a political side quest explaining to you how stuff works. I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is what I am going to do is explain shower and toilet. So, shower and toilet. So, what men say is shit, shower, and shave in that order. What women say is, I'm going to be here for 90 minutes. What's going on here is me understanding why it takes women so long, because because you're not even in a frame of mind to try to not have it be 90 minutes. So there's this expression within private equity entrepreneurship, which is, given the amount of resources and runway, all of the resources and runway will be used. So if you give a person 90 minutes, they're going to just loungingly take a dump. And it's going to take an hour and a half. Becca needs a hug. Becca's using the toilet as, and I don't need consent to read what you said. You just need timeout from men. So once you view the toilet as your escape, oh, we're talking about getting together, all right. A challenge has been issued, which is a certain someone here thinks that she can shower and detect when I'm dropping off one very large kid into the pool, one very large child, very large food baby delivered. I venture to shit talk that I can drop a deuce, I can drop 3 kids off at the pool. You won't even know. You won't even know. You won't even know. If you enjoy bathroom humor, there's a video. It's called Women's Bathroom Humor. I literally give 3 hours of bathroom content. This video is whatever you'd like it to be. This video is whatever you'd like it to be. This video is whatever you'd like it to be. Pooforia. I swear this is the last thing about me shit talking. Pooforia. Pooforia is in cats, where cats defecate and then they run around because they're euphoric. Pooforia. I asked AI, is there such a thing as pooforia? And AI said humans cannot experience pooforia. I would argue. Dating. When you're dating someone, you have no idea what their schedule is. You have no idea what their ovulation schedule is. You have no idea what their work schedule is. You definitely don't know about their shit schedule. In fact, women hide the fact that they even shit for the first 9 months of the relationship. Even traveling, even close quarters where you're sharing a bathroom. She will do everything possible to pretend, oh, my butthole, it never shits. So, as a man who's interested in sex, you have to intrinsically understand and read whether or not she's constipated. I argue it isn't a headache that's keeping her from wanting to have sex. It isn't some complex social dynamic where she says, hey, that's a guy I want to marry. I'm not going to have sex with that person. I don't think it's that complicated. I think it has to do with whether or not she can get her insides rearranged, because if her stomach, her large intestine and small intestine have a full load of shit, she doesn't want to get a ginormous Chinese sausage in there that rearranges everything. Getting my guts rearranged, getting my black blown out, getting my brown blown out, getting my back blown out. Because you don't want extra things inside of your body when you're like, oh my God, I haven't taken a dump in 4 days. I can't wait to get home. What? So you bring up a very interesting point, Oliver FFR. That's why the first time she farts next to you is truly magical. It's like watching a flock of fairies out in the wild for the first time. So I've got this friend. No, it's not me. This friend encourages that behavior. How does he encourage this behavior? He makes food that is specifically hard to digest, that causes gas. He makes this food because he wants her to emit that methane gas. This methane gas is his elixir because he wants it. Look at how you want it. Let me again read what you said. That's why the first time she farts next to you is truly magical. Really? It's like watching a flock of fairies out in the wild for the first time. I'm going to put on my thinking cap. Because I will not be shouting out fake people. I will not be manipulated. Actually, I will be manipulated. Have you guys been able to listen to urban myths? Have you been able to listen to urban myths and say, hey, I wonder if there's a darker meaning behind that meaning? Because when you're trying to nasal passage up her large intestine, what you're really saying is ATM. Do you guys know what ATM is? I kind of don't want to tell you. I mean, I'll tell you, but I don't want to tell you. ATM is just like ATN, which is when you smell her fart, it's her ass to your nose. ATN. It kind of sounds like an ATM machine. It kind of sounds like that. Testosterone. How are you guys doing with testosterone? Too much of it? Not enough of it? Testosterone. Do you think that guys who have too much testosterone are attractive or unattractive? Remember, kids, this is a two-way conversation. Testosterone, question mark. You don't want to talk about testosterone? You do want to talk about testosterone. While you're thinking about talking about testosterone, I brought a guest today. I brought a guest. Do you like my guest? He's very fluffy. He kind of looks like my dog. He kind of looks like my dog. Have you guys ever been to a Larry Chang video before? Or is this your first one? Becca thinks you can't smell your own poo. I'm not quite sure about that. I don't think that that passes the sniff test. I just did. I just did. Hey, what's interesting is that same situationship that's going to happen in the United States of America. True story. True story. That's how the story meanders. That's how the story meanders. Where why can't we try to not have a war and the secret wars? Do you guys know about the secret wars? The secret war on heterosexual people, the secret war on middle class people, the secret war on math, secret war, the secret war on trying to help you stay confused. So what my channel is on is what they don't teach you in school. That's my channel. And the first topic that was discussed, kind of a big one, which is why don't people teach credit card education and financial literacy in school, right? Why don't they teach that? And so that was the basis for my videos, and I discounted YouTube ginormously because I didn't really see it as a viable platform. What they don't teach you in school about, one, deeply understanding credit card knowledge, deeply understanding how to qualify for a mortgage so that way you would get a mortgage back when I was back during my day. You would get a mortgage for a 3-bedroom house for $1,000 or $1,200. This 3-bedroom house and then you'd rent out 2 of the bedrooms for $650. And then you'd live rent free because your principal, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance would be covered by the 2 people paying you rent. That was initially my set of videos. And then it was digitally understanding credit knowledge. And then I open sourced all of that stuff. And then when I gave away what we would charge $600 for, people were like, no way. I can't believe you just gave that away. Or, no way. I can't believe that it was that easy. And then because we gave it away, people did what people do, and that is this. You see, the Duck 9 methodology, it literally fixed everything, and it was the easy switch. It was an easy switch, you fix everything, because it's deeply understanding capital knowledge, where if you want to make more money, this is the easy switch. So there's this button that my Eskimo brother, he just posted. And this button's called Fix Everything Easily Switch. I talk about it as if it's a G spot because it's a fix everything switch. So this is what happens when you tell people, hey, you don't have to pay Duck 9. I own 100% of the company. You don't have to pay Larry Chang. I'm 100% liquid. You don't have to pay anything for this thing that used to cost $600, which is a FICO score over 750. Pay me zero. Fix it for free. Watch a video. Did that video go viral? It went the opposite of viral because people were like, there's no way that this fixes everything. There's no way that this fixes everything. So this is what people said. This is what my Eskimo brother just posted yesterday. So perfectly on cue, you're living off your mommy. You fucktard, my mother's dead. You're a dumb cunt. Welcome to Heckling Larry Chang. Welcome to Heckling Larry Chang. Welcome to Heckling Larry Chang. Welcome. How do you feel? Exactly. I do look like a kid. The fix everything switch, perfectly on cue. Perfectly on cue as a reaction to I just handed you a free $800, $600, definitely more money than your absentee father made in the third world shithole that you're in. Larry Chang's back, baby. The fix everything easily switch. You're welcome. No gratitude, because that's actually what's stopping most people from fixing things is zero gratitude, which is why it starts with gratitude. You can't press that switch. Or what you said, which is, wait a minute, you're going to talk about the secret G spot to all of life? You're living off your mommy. You could say that, but you're telling me that you have no dad. There is no switch. But Larry, if I only had a dad, then I would press the switch. This is what people say when you tell them, hey, fix everything, easily switch. This is what people say. Nobody actually wants to see any switch pressing. That would be quite impossible, or very likely indicative of the fact that you're a keyboard warrior on Ebonics, and not the good kind of Ebonics, because I went ahead and I solved that too. Which is, why are you trying to carry around that much money in your pocket? I mean, don't you have credit? Oh, somebody has no credit. Somebody has no credit. Somebody has no credit. Aw, man, using big words. Ebonics maxing. Hashtag EBONIXXX. There's 10 X's in Ebonics maxing. Yeah, I fix that too. I fix everything. Fix everything easily switch. It is simply not possible to press the switch. That's what you would say because you're trying to actively re- re- retard me. I can say that, right? You're trying to make me retarded. You're trying to make me retarded. We are actually the sum total of the 10 people that are in our YouTube live stream. That's just true, which is we are the sum total of each other. Let's just try to bring up our average. So if your credit score is that high, why do you have 9 grand? Why do you have multiple $100 bills in your pocket? Is that because you're a male gigolo and your boyfriend, sugar daddy, just paid you? That's cool. That's cool. Because your accusations are actually confessions. Fix everything switch. To be honest, it is quite frankly terrifying that you would even consider pressing the switch. Yeah, you pay cash. You pay cash. I get it. You're a USD fiat maxer. Congratulations. Congratulations. Ideally, you want to be able to use your credit card like it's a debit card. Ideally. Ideally. Wow. There's a lot of chat going on right now. I feel very popular. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel very popular. I feel very appreciated. I have much gratitude for your energy. Fix everything easily switch. Hey buddy, just get fucked if you're even thinking about pressing the switch. Fuck you. We're talking about pressing the switch. The easy switch. So when you're saying that I'm speaking word salad, your accusation is another confession, which is last year you read zero point 0.0 books. You think a podcast makes you an expert because you're smarter than your friends. You actually watch educational content. So good job. But here's the thing about being your ethnicity, which is clear the ethnicity that you are, which is processing of information. It is massively lacking. Meaning, do you even understand yourself what this stand-up comedy is, which is comedy, interruptions of the expected, comedy. It has a structure that we can actually delve into. It's called pattern recognition, pattern repetition, and pattern iteration. And so when the comedy goes two ways, because your prior accusation, as you're throwing around a good amount of accusations, is your mom gives you money. So what you're telling me is that you are a single mother raised person. You are your ethnicity. You're trying to get me canceled? You're trying to get me canceled. Pinning your negative comment. Thank you. Thank you for your negativity. Thank you for your negativity. I wish your mother great health. My mother has passed away, so you can keep on slamming my mother, but that's what your ethnicity does. Slamming mothers. What is... You can't help it. You know what? You know what? I will not ban you. You want to be banned. That's what gets you a erection that you never get. Oh my God, are you a woman? That would explain the testosterone. Do you see how I can read and process information super fast? because I was thinking to myself, boy, you have a lot of testosterone, yet you can't get an erection. Why is that? And I figured it out. Your testosterone is coming from your ovaries. So this is going to get not complicated. It's going to explain to you how your vagina works. You see, you're a obese person, and I don't want to know, but I figured it out based on your accusations, because your Hail Mary accusations are actually confessions. I figured it out. Here's what I figured out. One, I figured out that you're obese, and then what happens with your estrogen when you are obese is you produce testosterone at obesity levels. So, if you are a man, which you are not, and obese, which you are, obese men will produce estrogen. So, this crossover where, yes, men and women have testosterone and estrogen, this crossover occurs. I'm going to meditate for your vagina's health. You are now meeting the vagina whisperer for the first time. What's the vagina whisperer? What are you even talking about? This is what I'm talking about. It's called the fix everything easily switch. I'm going to fix your vagina. One, you're going to need to drop 30 to 80 pounds. This is financial advice via a company set, because your obesity is causing too much testosterone to get thrown. You're trying to out testosterone a person with a ginormous amount of testosterone. Think of this as AI, American intelligence, where you are getting wave 5 of AI, which is artificial intelligence. Currently, we're in wave 2 AI. Wave 2 AI is a steaming pile of turd. It's stinky. Look at the logos of Anthropic. Look at the logo of Gemini 3. Look at the logo of any company. Every logo looks like Enki's butthole. Literally every logo. Every logo looks like a butthole. The reason AI logos look like an anus, not even a starfish I can tolerate, is this is AI wave 7, where you say things and then a American intelligent person reads, hey, this female, she's got a lot of testosterone. She's got a lot of testosterone. So when females get a lot of testosterone, that's why you have that mustache. That's why you have hair growth. You literally are a beard. And I'm not talking about the cool kind of beard, which is where your lesbian friend is trying to get you to be her beard just because secretly she kind of is Larry Chang curious. She's just a little bit curious. She kind of wants just the tip where, hey, Larry, can you have your penis just act like a inside out vagina for me? Because then we could have lesbian sex. Will you be my beard? Will you be my beard? I really love you, Larry Chang. Will you be my lesbian lover? I will be, because what we haven't really clarified is I haven't declared and I do consent to you understanding what my pronouns are. Because you might see a 6'5", very muscular person, chock full of testosterone, currently rocking an erection of comedy, straightforward, pitching a tent where we do a teepee, where we're not gonna carbon monoxide overload. We're gonna just go from stand up comedy into credit. What kind of credit are you talking about, Larry? I'm talking about taking my pronouns and saying this, which is if you're going to try to get me to exist in a world that is alphabet dominated, if you're trying to get me to win in an environment that's controlled by LGBTQ, TT plus, you're gonna meet a transsexual. I'm not gonna say that I'm the solo founder of the LGBTQ, TT plus movement. I'm not gonna say that. But I am going to ask you a first principles question, which is why do you think that my bio, my CV, my resume, it's 3 words. Hashtag vagina whisperer. Think about that. That's my calling card. That's my CV. That's my name badge. So when I go to a leverage finance conference, and I'm going to be obviously speaking, right? Because I'm dropping that knowledge. This is what I wear. This is what I wear. And then people are like, shut the front door. Shut the front door. You shut the front door. I did shut the front door. Screenshot. 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 That screenshot was way harder. Was way harder. Way harder than it needed to be. Well, that's what comedy is. That's what comedy is. You string a bunch of words together. You string a bunch of words together. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. What's a super chat? I don't think you know what a super chat is. Oh, I know what a super chat is. I know what a super chat is. If your message got held for review, go back and edit your message because it was held for review. I will encourage you to never subscribe. I would encourage you to never subscribe. Oh. Busted. 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 Oh, I had no idea that it was going to be this funny. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Message retracted. Thank you for hate watching this comedy. Thank you. Larry, I'm so heterosexual, I can't tell if you're good looking or not. What? What? Does that even make any sense? I mean, it kind of does make sense. I don't care if you think I'm good looking or not. What's wrong with you? Are you saying that you're ugly? Oh my god. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why I even know that. I don't want to know. Larry, you're more funny when you put your cowboy hat on. So when you constantly evaluate what I look like, how hot I am, how I'm not hot, you're trying to talk like a woman. Like you're not a woman, you're a man. I don't even know what you are because you're trying to have a woman to woman conversation where you're constantly giving feedback on my exterior looks while claiming that I'm confusing you. Because this video, it's taped before a live audience. The reason I'm so happy about this is why I'm happy. I'm happy about this because when people are allowed without moderation to send thoughts that are non mitigated, non moderated, non filtered, where when you spout off your comments, you're thinking that I'm spouting off and having a tidal wave of information because you walked into this video thinking, hey, this is just going to be stand-up comedy. But then I hit you. I hit you with what this LGBTQ TT movement needs is a heterosexual ABC and an ABCD. Should I go get my ABCD? I kind of should. I kind of should. I deleted it because I'm actually not sure if a Chad is actually a good thing or not. LOL. Pretty out. Pretty out. Hey, pretty out. 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 Come on. Out. 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 Let's go. Come on. I'm gonna close the door. Come on. Out. 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 ABCD, baby. ABCD. That would be an American born Chinese dog. That would be Tom Brady. Larry, does your owl talk? He does not talk. My dog, he does not talk either. Well, sometimes he talks. Did you guys enjoy comedy today? Did you guys enjoy comedy today? I hope you did. I enjoyed spending time with you. What did you learn during Larry Chang Comedy? What did you learn? Does my owl look like my dog? Do I look like my dog? Have you guys ever done a video before? Are you guys intimidated in doing a video? Here are some bullet points for if you're thinking about doing your own video. 1. Initially, it's going to be incredibly painful to do a live. Because what happens is people don't want you to be on the other side of content creation. People want to try to drag you down because they're desperately afraid of public speaking. They're desperately afraid of exposing and being temporarily vulnerable. Look at how negative people got. Look at how people, they just get angry. Where my dog is a Shih Tzu. He's a Shih Tzu. He's a Shih Tzu ABCD. American born, Chinese dog. Brady, your ears need to be brushed. Your ears need to be brushed, little buddy. Hey, calm down. Hey, let's mitigate our testosterone. He's got too much testosterone. He's got too much testosterone. He's got too much testosterone. Why don't we cut the balls off of humans that have too much testosterone? Would that help humans get along better? Because that's what we do to dogs. We cut balls off. We cut balls off. No balls. Ballsless. That's why I don't ask. That's why I don't ask what your pronouns are. Because I can just tell. I can just tell. We're going to do something very dangerous right now. Very dangerous right now. Which is I'm using the rake. I'm using the rake. Hey, guess what? Oh, do you want me to do eye drops? Good idea, buddy. What a good idea. So, this is what women will do to each other, which is 4 positive things and then 1 negative thing. which is actually genius. Because when you're all negative all the time, you're basically showing people that you're a man without a dad. Let me repeat that. This is stand-up comedy. This is hilarious on 10 levels. This is hilarious because it's true. Because when you're all negative all the time, this is what happens when you have misplaced and misallocated testosterone. And then now you're going to be that ethnicity that's super prone to committing a unbelievable amount of crime. This is why these problems are easy to solve. These problems are easy to solve. But you're going to have to ask yourself, hey, why aren't these problems getting solved? This is comedy. This is comedy. The world's so crazy right now that the jokes just write themselves. This is us sharing a moment in time. And let's say that you think that I'm super funny. Well, that's because you're listening. Let's say you think I have never said anything either funny or made any sense. That doesn't bring me down. That doesn't bring me down. That does not bring me down. What it does is it makes me realize that the grocery store has seafood. It's frozen, it's packed in ice. The grocery store also has, if you're lucky, some crabs in a pot. And these crabs, they're trying to get out. But as soon as one crab is close to leaving, the other crabs pull it back in. You see, the reason that there's such problems in American society, and granted, it's still a pretty good country. I don't even want to get started on some of the problems in Canada, UK, and Australia. Because those problems exist for a reason, which is they're meant to demoralize you. Why won't you just come into a Larry Chang video and realize I'm actually not just doing stand-up comedy, I'm actually disseminating a message which is it's not darkest before the dawn. Before dawn, it's actually pretty bright. Look at how much hair I'm getting. So satisfying. Look at how much hair I'm getting. It's so satisfying. Hey, what do you do for work? Explain to me what you do for work. So I studied engineering at the University of Illinois. The reason I have Stanford everything is because why would you not? Why would you not? I listened for a problem. It was a certain ethnicity credit. I happen to be the Ebonics Maxer. Ebonics. It's a language spoken by a lot of people in America. If you want to sound cool, you gotta sound black. So I went ahead and I edited that language like it's a computer language. Because you're allowed to aerospike, you're allowed to aerospike. Aerospike. I did not go to Harvard Business School. What I did do is, thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you. The reason that Ebonics is hilarious, this is why it's hilarious, is it's just, it's hilarious on 10 levels. It's hilarious on 10 levels. One, why create a language to keep dumb ethnicities dumber? Well, somebody's financially incentivized to do that. Me, I'm not down with that. That's why I speak American. This is why English is broken. Look at Australia, Canada, and the UK. They speak English. Those three countries are going to hell in a hurry. They're going to hell. We are not going to go to hell. Why? Why are we not going to go to hell? Because we get to stand super close to Larry Chang. You see, standing close to the money printer, that's what pedophiles do. They stand next to the money printer, they print money. It's socialism for rich people. It's socialism for poor people. Why is it socialism? Well, that's because the Titanic sank, and you don't want to know why. You don't want to know why the Titanic got sunk. Starting a central bank required the Titanic to be sunk. Brady, time to do the other side. Do you guys ever brush your teeth? Oh my God. Oh my God. Being Christian. Let's pray real quick. Father Lord, thank you for this time together. Thank you for new friends. Thank you for haters that are going to pray their first prayer. Maybe. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So, dating. Would you like some heterosexual comedy now? I would like some heterosexual comedy. I would like some heterosexual comedy. That's not even funny. Titanic is my favorite submarine. That's not even funny. So, this is actually how to do more than one vagina at a time while adhering to Christian mores and ethics. Let's go. Second base maxing. Here I was trying to leave you guys, but you just keep pulling me back in. What is second base maxing? Here's a problem is Christian dating, because I have to make her more happy with my dating protocols than she would be if she were to be getting full service, full on fornication, second base maxing. So if you're retarded, these are the bases. First base, kissing. Second base, boobs. Tom Brady's very talkative. Third base is Tom Brady's favorite word, vagina. Fourth base is going all the way. You see, I'm super Christian. I look like I'm walking sex. That's what I look like. This is why women throw vagina. Here's the problem with that, is that when I don't fuck her, even by date number 9, she's gonna come up with every objection and accusation in the book, which is her temporarily experiencing sexual rejection for the first time as a blonde with giant boobs. True story. She's a blonde. She has giant boobs. So she's never experienced sexual rejection before. She's a blonde. She has big boobs. Whenever she wants to have sex, she gets sex. Enter Larry Chang, super sexy, heterosexual dater, publicly proclaims, yo, heterosexual females, I'm the vagina whisperer. She's going to be expecting sex by Saturday at 11 a.m. It is currently Saturday at 8:20 a.m. She's going to be expecting sex in a single digit number of hours. Little does she know, she's going to finally be getting Chinese sausage in a single digit number of dates. And not even in the good way that she likes it, which is perfectly into her G spot. It's not going to go there. Not going there. Not going there. Not going there. Ebonics maxing. I already pinned it. Because this is the solution. I solved Christian dating. Is this going to be crew approved? Actually, yes. Is this going to be Young Life approved? Actually, yes. Is this going to go into second base maxing, which has got approximately 4 X's? Larry, what's second base? What second base is just after first base. This is what's counterintuitive and true. Is you don't want to go to first base first as a Christian or non-Christian. Remember, this is also financial advice. Don't go to second base second. Larry, are you laughing at your own jokes? Yeah, because this is hilarious, and I'm telling jokes to the most important human on the planet. That would be me in the editing room where I gotta sample this stand-up comedy, and I gotta literally eat my own jokes. I gotta eat my own dog food. I gotta eat my own venture capital investments. Second base maxing. 4 X's. This is Ebonics maxing. Hashtag Ebonics maxing. Hashtag vagina whisperer. This is financial advice, which is stop treating a hashtag as if it's an exclamation point. A hashtag connects and curates and connects. Where are you feeling disconnected? Well, you shouldn't be, because ladies, I'm about to make your second base shine. I'm about to make your second base shine. You see, looks maxing, that actually works. But you know what else women have taught me that also works? Boobs maxing. Looks maxing is actually real. I mean, look at my stupid hot face. I looks maxed it. I was born the number one most attractive human in the history of being human. And I went ahead and said, how do hot people get even hotter? And I would hang out with hot people because I date hot people. And I would say, why is your face so hot? Can I see pictures of you when you used to not be hot? And then hot people would say, I got even hotter. This is my beauty regimen. Now, know that as a heterosexual, I literally DGAF what your nighttime shutdown routine is. I don't care. The only routine that I care about is get down there and do your job. Do your job. That's what I care about. But guess what? In a relationship, we're going to need to talk. And if you're going to talk, I'm going to pretend to listen. And when you're talking about things that I kind of don't care about, I'm going to pretend to care. I'm a heterosexual man. And I like my hot vagina. I like my hot vagina. So if personality is what you're going to need, personality is what I'm going to give you. Because you're not getting the D, you're not getting that ginormous Chinese sausage. Oh, it's really big for an Asian. What? Larry, you're super hot for an Asian. Did you have to put the last part? I mean, I don't say stuff that's true, which is, you're super smart for a white person. Do I add that at the end? Do I add that prepositional phrase the way that people who read fortune cookies? Brady hates this stuff. Brady thinks I'm talking my way out of vagina. Brady loves vagina. He thinks I'm talking my way out of vagina. Am I talking my way from outside of your vagina? Because guess what? Guess what, ladies older than 22, younger than 23? I'm not one of those stand-up comedians that has an ass model and a business model of, if I could just ace my stand-up comedy set, somebody's going to want to date me. Man. You know that's why male comedians are funny, right? Because if male comedians aren't funny, they're not going to get any JJ. Have I just explained to you why ugly dudes who are from Desert, New Jersey are hilarious? Have I just explained that to you? That's what you get from Larry Chang comedy. Brady, you look like you're being held by a person who loves you. You look so happy right now. Can I kiss your face? Be honest. Are you going to bite my face if I kiss your face? When your dog's named Tom Brady and he refuses to get puppy kisses in the face, yeah. Episode 1, Tom versus Time. So you want to head to second base first. Why? Because the only thing that you have to deal with is danger. Because as a Christian, no one looks at a Christian and says, ooh, he looks dangerous. People don't say that. That's why you have to act dangerous. That's why you go to second base first. What does it mean to go to second base first? It means you do what women do. Oh, with the looks maxing thing. So in a relationship, which I actually have been in before, I've had a girlfriend before. Are you one of those guys who never, ever is monogamous? Or is it mahogynous? What's the word? What's the word called where you only date one person? What's that called? So in a relationship, she'll tell me stuff like, this is what I do before I go to bed. I'll fucking hammer my fucking face. Have you guys seen Clavicular? He takes a steel hammer and he hammers his face. Let me show you. Let me show you what hammering face means. It means hammering your face. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to destroy your bone. You're trying to destroy your bone by having more boner. Boobs maxing. So this is the point of the pitch, which is I'm selling special cream, and this cream makes boobs bigger. Now, this cream, it's very, very effective because boobs maxing. I'll just be honest because we have very limited time. So, women will do things before bed, and in a relationship, they'll just do those things, such as boobs maxing. Without giving away how to make your boobs bigger, I know why her boobs got bigger. So look at my myriad of pictures with females. Her boobs get bigger because I help her boobs get bigger. And now there's a product available. It's a special cream with a special protocol. Looks maxing. Looks maxing, I like it because it works. But I'm not going to sell looks maxing. Why? Because you never buy pickup artist content from a dude who looks like he fucks. Ditto, you don't want to buy a get rich slow workshop from a dude who got rich fast. You don't want to buy boobs maxing from a woman with fake boobs. Do you understand how the internet works? This is why I don't sell workshops on success. But Larry, why are you selling cream to make boobs bigger? Because it's a joke. Guess what kind of cream it is? It's a joke, but guess what kind of cream it is? And why does this cream work every time? This cream works every time, 100% of the time, because it's special testosterone cream. Remember, we're second base maxing because she's going to be incredibly angry. Oh, I get it, Larry. You're going to wait for blah, blah, blah in order to have sex. Will you at least kiss my vagina? That's third base. And that would be no, I'm saving it for my 10th year of marriage. What happens on the 10th year of marriage? I think it's like the vagina kissing anniversary. If you look it up on AI and you say, hey, what do you get for your 10th year anniversary? That would be you get your vagina kissed. Boobs maxing, looks maxing. So looks maxing for women, it actually works because when you date a model, she has 2 hours of I'm gonna get ready for bed. I just go to bed. But sometimes I'm curious, what are you gonna do for 2 hours before bed? That's when I learned about looks maxing. So, looks maxing adjacent is boobs maxing, which is there are boob accentuation protocols. This is how you know that these jokes are actually 100% true. Boobs. My phone number, it has boob in it. Do you know how many people will tell me about my phone number? Is they'll say, Did you mean to put boob at the end of it? This is why I prepaid 100+ years of my phone. I'm gonna be Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. His phone is still on. His phone is still on right now. That's where I got that from. That's where I got this is where I got it from. I got it from Steve Jobs. This is not Silicon Valley maxing. This is boobs maxing. This is second base maxing, which is boobs maxing. So the reason that love is currently getting sent from Vietnam is Vietnamese girls love this. They love this because for Vietnamese girls, it works every time. So this is what we're talking about. We're talking about second base maxing. We're talking about this. When women gain weight, they gain weight everywhere before they gain it in their boobs. This is what women with small boobs say. This is what women with boob optimization will say, which is, yeah, I can run 4 miles, but as soon as I'm able to run 6 miles when I'm training for a marathon, I kind of don't like to do it because my boobs get smaller. This is how you know you've taken down a lot of vagina, because I've empirically studied boobs. Dare I say this is a boob and mammary gland PhD thesis. Stanford, where's my 11th PhD on being a PhD candidate? Which is boobs maxing, gaining weight. When you say the words, oh, when I gain weight, the last place I gain it is in my boobs, you're actually breaking the habit. You're actually reinforcing the habit of you. When you reinforce the habit of being you, you're not even meditating to say, I'm going to eat this food, and this food is going to cause my boobs to grow bigger. This is how you know that this Christian comedy is not even going to go off the rails, because it's staying completely on script. Were you here for that Larry Chang YouTube Live where I dropped 3 F-bombs in a prayer? I know. It feels like you're meeting Larry Chang for the first time. It feels like you're meeting Larry Chang for the first time. The special cream costs $275,000. This is what women will say when they got the cream. Oh my gosh, my friends have accused me, even my own family, Larry, have accused me of getting a boob job. They've accused me of getting a boob job. It works 100% of the time, this cream. It works 100% of the time. This is the easy button. Do you know how much easier life gets when you have big boobs? And I'm not talking about fake big boobs. I'm talking about real big boobs. This unicorn, batting 1,000 when it comes to blonde billionaires in the world who are self-made billionaires. Look at how much hair I'm getting. Staying on script. Happy? Staying on script. Street smart. So it's street smart in a way where where they actually do teach you this at IMG, International Management Group. They actually do teach you this at Ford Model Agency. And all the sketchy ones that are just basically pedo rings. They actually teach you this. So it's a collection of street smart urban myths. Some of the urban myths are mythical. The ones that I practice are spot on. They're so spot on that I ran point for the unofficial Victoria's Secret fashion show. I really have to stress here, I'm really interested in boobs. I'm interested in bra. I'm interested in no bra. I'm interested in second base maxing. I know this is funny, and I know that some of these thumper here, some of this content is comedic. But what I had to do was I had to lubricate my knowledge about boobs so that way I can insert it into your brain, because boobs maxing, it's not in Limitless, which is a book. And we're gonna go ahead and put it into Limitless, because what we're really doing here on March 7, 2026 is we're playing 6D chess. Chess, not checkers. Checkers is, I'm going to owe $18,000. I'm going to go get a boob job. That's checkers. Here's the problem with your $18,000 boob job, your 5-figure boob job, is it's going to take you 18 months to pay for it. And that's not good, because you're going to be doing things that you otherwise wouldn't be doing. Here's the other thing that's also not good. Boobs. The other thing that's not good is the fact that you are now going to get a bigger waist because you cheated and you just bought boobs. When you buy boobs that you didn't earn because you bought your boobs on layaway, now there's a problem. You're going to eat more because you don't have self-control, and the lack of discipline in doing Larry Chang's boob maxing. That is a 2-hour protocol before you go to bed for looks maxing and boobs maxing. Larry, if you knew what you're doing, why do you not have big boobs? Oh, my chest is my second base. Have you seen pictures? It looks like I'm wearing one of those fake costumes where I have abs and like, look at those. If you add a little bit of moisture to my dress shirt, I'm literally in a wet t-shirt fashion show. I'm not in a wet t-shirt contest. I'm in a wet dress shirt fashion show. So what a wet dress shirt fashion show is showing the nip. And I'm not talking about a Japanese slander of nip, nip. Hey, there are nips on the horizon. Pearl Harbor, it's about to get ransacked. There are nips on the horizon. It's, Larry, are you happy to see me, or are your high beams on? Street smarts. So here's the problem when you just go ahead and buy boobs, is your lack of impulse control, your lack of discipline, it's going to cause you to eat more. Not that I would ever date a girl with ginormous big boobs, but I put her in her psychographic profile into my tickle list, which is I wonder how fat she's gonna get in 6 months. I wonder how fat she's gonna get in 12 months. Because what happens is when you just get new boobs, you eat out a lot. And you get DoorDash because guys will say, hey, what's your favorite DoorDash? I'll order it, come over. And you can't say no. You have no discipline. You like strange dick. You like DoorDash. It's D&D. New dick, new DoorDash. D&D. So you might be trying to throw vagina by saying, hey, Larry, don't forget about me. You might be saying that. What else you could be saying is, why don't you just sit there, young lady, quietly as a person who's older than 22, younger than 23, and just quietly masturbate? Because you don't have to be loud about it. We're still talking about bullet point number 3, street smarts. I'm not going to pin your tweet. So, street smarts. It's stuff that they don't teach you in school, even fashion school walking, which is why is this stuff not taught? The reason this stuff is not taught, and the reason that if you use my special cream and use my special protocols to get bigger boobs, you're going to be mindful of the most important ratio to your economic viability, which is boob to waist ratio. Boob to waist ratio, 36, 22, 36. When we got away from that, the country started to go bankrupt. Look at us. We're in a country with a new war every month, with an inability to even play chess. We live in a country run by pedos playing checkers. We're not playing checkers right now. We're second base maxing. 4 X's, hashtag second base maxing. When first base is kissing, you are now a beta male. If first base is kissing, you don't understand that women, they hate going to first base first. The reason women hate going to first base first is the wiring of the female brain. And when the female brain is wired like a female, you've got some economic anchors. Leg job. So, dating as a Christian, you're going to need to come up with some relentlessly resourceful ways to help her reach an orgasm. I recommend my August 2nd content. It's called Leg Job. So what leg job is hashtag leg job. This is what lesbians do. It's not actually scissoring, because that's whatever. It's actually leg job. This is what leg job is. And I'm going to walk you through a person who's talking about leg job who's got a baby leg. I'm not talking about using my baby leg. I'm talking about using my leg, which is orgasms for women. It has nothing to do with what you think it does, which is speed, friction, duration. It has, like, that's meant to distract you. This is orgasm. It's sapiosexual orgasm. It's actually mental. So you might think of it as a mental illness where women want to date a criminal, a pirate, a cowboy, a billionaire, or a prisoner. But this is the female wiring. You're now understanding Vagina Whisperer for the 13th time. Because why do women want to date a criminal who's currently in prison? There's a perfectly reasonable choice of a beta male who can provide. Like, why can't you just like that? This is why it's having to orgasm in your brain first. So, let's say you're similar to Larry Chang. You got the highest starting salary in engineering, University of Illinois. You are a Christian. You are a nice guy. Now you're experiencing some heterosexual difficulties. That's why you're in a video called Second Base Maxing. So know that she kind of needs that dark triad. But how do you provide dark triad as a Christian? Enroll in my program. It costs $350,000, which is leg job. Oh, I just gave it to you for free. Because you're going to need to talk to her dirty, giving her Levi's love. What's Levi's love? Levi's love is what Mormon people do, which is erection under jeans pressed into her wet pussy. That's Levi's love. So that's equilibrium. That's equality. Larry Chang, we are not about equality. We're going to dominate her. It's like what James Bond said when he lost his balls in Casino Royale. True story, he lost his balls and he talked this shit. This is what he said. When faced with the question of, hey, are you worried that you're no longer going to be able to satisfy your wife? James Bond said something that I took to heart, which is, my balls are currently detached from my body during this torture, but I'm going to make more women orgasm with this pinky than you will with your current erection. I took that to heart because he's one, being relentlessly resourceful. Two, he's doing the Sam Altman 007 thing. Three, did you know that every AI logo is an anus? Four, leg job. So heterosexual make fun of women who do scissoring. And I was like, is that even really a thing? Because I talk to everybody, including lesbians. Cheers to lesbians. All are welcome here. Cheers. And I'll say, how does it work? What is scissoring? How does it work? Because you know how like some people at a party you don't want to talk to? The lesbians. But if you're going to make me talk to you because I have to talk to you, because remember, once 8 women in the room love you, every woman in the room loves you. And that's why I will talk to lesbians. How does it work? Women, super chatty. The way it works is leg jobs. I'm like, oh, it's not scissoring? They're like, no, it's leg jobs. I'm like, what's a leg job? True story, she began to have an ovarian incident when she described what a leg job was. Because this is actually how to do a 3-way with lesbians, which is you have lesbian sex with lesbians. I don't know why this isn't published into a seduction book. Oh, wait, it just did. Because it's not that lesbians don't want penis. They just don't want penis prematurely. Allegedly. You might think, oh my gosh, he's on drugs. You might think, oh, he is chemically enhanced. That would be page 344. L-theanine, that's the chemical inside of green tea. No coffee, baby. Cheers. Leg job. So here's some good news for you Christian daters that are trying to make a person orgasm with two hands or one penis tied behind your back, which is good news. The supermajority of females under 30 years old cannot have an orgasm with another person in the room. This is why there are mental illness drugs prescribed, or cause effect, or correlation. All those things are a mishmash, but the prior statement, it still applies, which is you're in competition with no competition, because those females who don't have an orgasm, they're not having an orgasm where penis is involved. So if you can give them an orgasm with just your leg, you will be seen as a JVA. Did I say JBA? No, JVA, a Jedi in vagina administration. Larry, how can you say the stuff that you say with a straight face? Easily, because, oh my God. This I can't say with a straight face, which is double hand job. So after leg job, now she's gonna be ready for it. You're about to be raped as a man who's heterosexual. This is how to avoid being raped. This is financial advice. So she's gonna want that glorious Chinese sausage that's fully erect and saying, hey, how you doing? How you doing? She's gonna want that. You can't give it to her because stranger danger, you can't give it to her. This is what you're gonna have to give to her, double hand job. It's called hand on top, brain 3, nowhere to be found. Hand on top, fingers in, brain 4, brain 1, brain 5. So this is something that I did not want to think about when I didn't know shit, which is, Larry, women have women have orgasms mentally. I'm like, I don't care. Like, word salad, and I was a cognitive miser, kind of like some of you guys with your exploded comments. It turns out women's orgasms, women's neuroses, women wanting to actually sleep with a prisoner, get married to one, and fornicate with a person who lives behind bars. It's not being mentally ill, it's just called vagina wiring. This is what I'm talking about when I'm referring to brain 3, brain 4, brain 5, brain 1, and brain 2. You see, the way that other heterosexual men have sex is barely any brain involved. It's just more animalistic. And before you accuse me of being gay, just because I'm 100 times smarter than you doesn't make me gay. Just because my penis is 4 times smarter than a woman doesn't mean that you can try to cancel me because we're doing second base maxing. Larry, how's your penis twice as smart as a woman? There's no way. Oh, yeah, it's called double hand job. This is what I'm talking about. You see, when most men get a penis that's hard with vagina involved, men immediately want to use their penis. This is what happens when you don't have a dad, is the delayed gratification wires funny. So, and most men are acting like betas that have never gotten pussy. So once you even get a waft of pussy, you're going to be trying to put it in immediately. Whereas look at me. I have too much vagina. I am being crushed by it. This is me talking my way out of vagina. That's when you know you've got the opposite of scarcity mindset, because I'm literally trying to talk my way out of your vagina. I'm trying to talk my way out of it. Double hand job. Erection. So by managing your third brain, which is my penis, true story, my penis is smarter than 90% of male humans on the planet. 3 times smarter than women, smarter than 90% of men. That's because there are 5 brains that a person has access to. I'm using all 5 brains in doing leg job. I'm using 4 brains to do double hand job. Let's introduce you to the shortest TED Talk ever, which is the 5 brains. Brain 1 is your brain, brain 2 is your stomach, brain 3 is your penis, or in your case, vagina. Brain 4 is your butt, brain 5 is AI, American intelligence, artificial intelligence. That's brain number 5. See, we're talking right now, we are talking right now, because you're actually having internalized dialogue. That's brain 5. When I'm flanking you, there is no defilade. Who re-registered for the Selective Service? Cheers to the ground war. Larry Chang, Corporal, Private, at the front. So what defilade is women blocking. What enfilade is her vagina is wet, Larry Chang is fully erect. That is enfilade, which is enter the vagina. This is enter this new protocol. It's called double hand job. So what a double hand job is you are in the vagina kissing position. But remember, you're not going to be doing pussy eating. You're not going to be doing that. You're going to be doing double hand job. It works like this. Left hand on top, right hand underneath. You're going to be pushing while you're going to be pushing. 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 Yeah, we're not trying to date females. And if you're hoping for comedy that leads to entrepreneurship education, you're actually in the right spot. Here's me furthering being in the right spot, which is pushing her fupa area. What's fupa? That would be her fat upper pussy area, her fupa area. So you're pushing her fupa area down while entering and locating her G-spot. That's called the double. So pulling a double is where you work 2 shifts. This is defilade. This is enfilade, which is militaristic terminology for how am I going to raid the castle? How am I going to get into where I need to get to without deploying all of my resources, if you catch my drift? Because what we're now doing in second base maxing is we are now going to be danger maxing. What's danger maxing? You see, I can't fuck you because of my beliefs. I mean, I might, but let's just say that I'm definitely going to make you wait until at least date number 9, dinner first, coach, which is danger maxing. We're still talking about second base maxing, danger maxing. So, danger and war, it makes women horny. Why? Because danger makes women horny. Why? Because orgasms are heightened when death is right around the corner. I don't make this shit up. I wish I didn't know this. Danger maxing. Her being naked in public. Done. Done. Danger maxing. Danger maxing. Her being naked, or going back to point number 4, which is her getting a leg job in public. If this content is spot on, I don't care if you sub or try to get me canceled or like it. It doesn't matter, because we're continuing with comedy. Oh my God. I actually am embarrassed about this. Next one. I'm actually embarrassed. I'm embarrassed because it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I'm going to need to block. I'm going to need to block. Larry, are you giving yourself an erection? You tell me. Group bathroom. Okay, so when females go to the bathroom, it's 2 people, minimum. Women don't go to the bathroom alone. Group bathroom. 2 girls going to the bathroom. This is just like being naked in public, where it's adjacent to the Mile High Club, which is actually disgusting, because it's just disgusting. That's group bathroom. You and her is group bathroom. Number 8, nipple work. So what nipple work is second base. You're going to need to get so good at second base that your second base is her round trip 5 times. What's a 5x round tripper? So a grand slam is where you hit it out of the park and she has 4 orgasms. You may not know that theoretically a woman can have 5 orgasms. That's nipple work. That's 5 home runs. And your penis hasn't even been unsheathed yet. You are fully leaving your penis on the bench. Why? Because the nipple is going to work. That's why they call it nipple work. So you might think that I'm a psycho because I can deliver this content with a straight face. The reason I'm delivering this content with a straight face is I'm actually telling you the truth. Nipple work. So this is valuable, and I'm just going to be honest. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm just going to tell you what I'm thinking. Nipple. So this is what I was told. This is insightful, which is most guys are so hungry for boob, they're hungry for vagina, that they'll do anything. Me, I'm hoping that I can leave soon because I kind of don't want you to rape me. Therefore, I will make you angry by not touching your nipple where you want it to be touched. think of it as tantric, but not for your pussy. Think of it as tantric. Think of it as touching everywhere but there. This is nipple work, where I will do this for a unbelievable amount of time. Why? Because chapter 4, breaking the habit of being you, which is overcoming time. And chapter 11, time, space, space, time, becoming supernatural. This is nipple work where I'm overcoming time, where I'm letting your random body part, your ankle or your inside shin, feel a ginormous erection, but I'm only gonna do nipple work. Number 9, foreplay, 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 41 play. So look at me. I'm a guy who thinks that foreplay is completely useless. Like, why do I need to do foreplay? Why don't you start the foreplay and then we'll bang when I get there? That's normally what guys like me say, which is foreplay? You want foreplay? What's wrong with you? I have now realized that 41 play is the new foreplay. What's 41 play? What's 41 play? 41 play is taking foreplay to a next level. This is what I'm talking about. Foreplay, 41 play. So back when I used to have all the way sex, the next time I have sex will be with a girl that I'm gonna maybe marry. So I'd be involved in sex, and then she would not have an orgasm, and then she would say, well, why don't you just come? 41 play. The problem is she didn't get enough foreplay. This is how I'm literally batting 1,000 with women who have never had an orgasm before, now having an orgasm with me. 41 play, which is, oh, you're not gonna have an orgasm? Well, I'm not gonna have an orgasm either. When you say that, you're wiring her brain in a really, really, really effective way. And kind of like in computer programming, where you're like, hey, we need to go back to the drawing board. Hey, we need to go back to the whiteboard. Hey, something is engineered incorrectly. We need to go back. We need to go back. This is where you kick her out of your bed, get her to put on headsets, and then you're now going to have phone sex with a person who is naked in your bed with a really, 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 really wet vagina. You're going to need to literally kick her out of bed, go find her phone out of the Faraday cage. That's a bag that doesn't emit cell. You pull her phone out of the Faraday cage and you say, go in the other room. We're going to have phone sex. Because she can have an orgasm if she's the only person in the room. The cell phone conversation doesn't work if she's sitting on a sofa right by the bed. It doesn't work. She has to be in another room on a phone. Linda Pence has chimed in to say hello. Welcome, Linda. Foreplay, 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 41 play. So what second base maxing is increasing and having her experience sexual frustration and sexual failure for the first time. And then routing that energy into growing mammary glands. I'm going to stop right there because some of you guys are sending too many boob selfies and my phone is literally full of memory. So congratulations on ruining my phone. And I'm happy that you could take over my stream. I'm happy. I mean, I'm not, but I'm going to have to make myself happy about it. I'm going to have to make myself happy about it. I'm not going to do better in the next video because guess what? This video, I peaked. I can't get better in the next video. I cannot get better. I did enjoy myself with you guys. I did enjoy myself. Take care. So the transition to scarcity mindset and being too hungry, it it leads into the opposite, which is having abundance within your brain. I'm only going to do the things that are really, really, really helpful to myself. And then you become a bad bitch, where now you're saying, well, I'll do it for you, but you've got to have something that benefits me. And now you're bad. You're not just a bad bitch, you're a bad human. When we're detail minded, and we're detail seeking and we're detail to detail, that's economic value. Where if we're solving a problem, we have to be incredibly detail minded. We have to execute, because how we do the small things is how we do all things. Point number one is can't keep a verbal deal straight. So people depend on people's word. People depend on people's forecasts. People depend on other people for when you have a social invitation and you got invited because you were popular or that you were in the know. And that's where we can drop the ball if we don't keep a verbal deal. How's my volume quality? Is it pretty good? Having some audio visual problems this morning. You know who's not having an audio problem? Fluffers. Fluffy. Number two. Oh, we're talking about top 10 bad bitches. Can't be 15 minutes early. Cannot be 15 minutes early. So when you're never early and trying to be perfectly on time, guess what you are? Probabilistically, you're going to be always 10 minutes late. So by trying to be 15 minutes early, you're hacking time, because the way that time moves when you're about to be late, time moves weird. And this is an example of that. If we're late for a job interview, every stoplight, every stoplight, everything that could go wrong will go wrong because we're about to be 10 minutes late. And it's not that things are going wrong per se. Good morning. Good morning, Mark the DRK. Good morning. How are you? So when we're about to be late, time moves too fast. And we can mitigate that by not being top 10 bad bitch. Point number two, which is refuses to have the goal to show up 15 minutes early. So when you refuse to show up early, this is what you think.
oh, if I get there 20 minutes early, I could have done 20 minutes of television watching back at home, where you feel like you're getting ripped off if you show up early. The 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 source of that is where you work a dollar per hour job. And let's say your shift is 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So you think if you show up at 8:30 and you clock in at 9, or you show up at 8:45, that your boss just got 15 free minutes from you. That's what keeps you in a doom loop of you're always going to be looking for that crappy job 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock. That's why so many people who are on salary, who are women, are getting fired, because nobody yells at me if I get in at 9:30, and then 9:30 quickly becomes 10:15. You arrive at 10:15, and what are you doing? You're going to get a coffee down in the work cafeteria. This is the doom loop of the slippery slope. This is why women are slow to be getting hired. The 9 to 5 example, it's borderline salary. It's borderline, you're trying to maximize something that you shouldn't be maximizing, which is dollars per hour. When you're trying to maximize dollars per hour, your brain becomes, I want to sell time for money. You become a prostitute. When you're trying to do dollars per hour, you're becoming a rat in the race. And that's what happens when you're focused on dollars per hour. This is the point in the conversation every time where I stress to you business model generation. Most people, if not 100% of people, they only have two business models: dollars per hour and beg, borrow, steal. This is so transparent if you've ever been to a Larry Chang video. I'm Larry Chang. My channel's on What They Don't Teach You in School. So the solution here is to be problem hunting versus dollars per hour. The business model for problem hunting, it works like this. You see a problem and then you solve that problem. So let's say the problem was $3,000. Well, if you're a salaried employee, that's what they're paying you, that ginormous salary, is to constantly be going from problem to problem with great enthusiasm. How's my volume? How's my volume? Somebody said I have low volume or no sound. Are they just fucking with me? It's okay that people are fucking with me. School for women, top 10 bad bitch. Let's go. Woke and broke. So I'm not going to say Olympics, nobody wants to see your political leanings. But if you're definitively not an Olympian, we definitely don't want to listen to what you believe that are Republican or Democrat. Why? Because it's one ginormous party, you're not in it. It's one big party, you're not in it. That's why woke and broke became a thing. That's why Alyssa Liu, gold medal winner for figure skating, she removed pronouns and she removed her LGBTQ TT affiliation. Larry, aren't you upset that that happened? Slappy Bigelow, good day, Larry. Your volume is fine now, right? I never know if people are fucking with me when they're saying I can't hear you.